So we're back on this lovely river again. It's been dry as a bone for about a month. We've had no rain. As you can see, there's very little water in the river. The water temperature of the river is not that high though, so it's still okay for fishing for trout. It's just a bit technical because it's hard to get near the fish without scaring them, because obviously with the water so low and clear, as soon as you go in the water you send bow waves and scare the fish. So anyway, we're going to enjoy a couple hours on this river today. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening and it's been another beautiful hot sunny day. Can't complain at all weather-wise, apart from we could do with a bit of rain for the fishing. Anyway, we're going to be having a wander and see if we can spot any trout rising. I've not seen many flies on the water. To be honest, this whole last 3 weeks I've been down 2 or 3 times fishing, but I've not caught anything. The thing is, normally at this time of year you've got what they call Duffer's Fortnight, where you've got a fortnight or 3 weeks where there's loads of mayflies and lots of fly life generally, and it's like normally the best 2 to 3 weeks of the year fishing for trout on the fly, for dry flies anyway. But I mean, there has been 1 or 2 fish rising, but nothing that you normally get. I mean, you know, normally it's quite prolific and you've got a chance of getting slightly bigger fish. But the thing is, last year was slightly different, but there wasn't many fish rising again. I mean, there's been a lot of flies on the water, but there's not just been that many fish rising for them. I mean, I think partly the low water doesn't help. I mean, last time I was out, I cast a fish and I just could not get them to take. And not even rejections, just not paying attention. But I think they were feeding on some little submerger or emerger kind of pattern thing, and I couldn't figure out what it was. So anyway, gonna have a wee wander, and once I spot a rising fish we'll get set up. So as I already said, it's going to be brown trout fishing today, or grayling as well, but I'm going to be using dry flies hopefully. And we can't spot any fish rising. I guess I'll just have to fish spiders and nymphs in the streams. But I'd really like to try and get some fish on the dry fly, because that's really, you know, this time of year, that's what it's all about. So anyway, I'll have a wander and then I'll put the camera back on once I got set up and spotted some fish. So I'm using a wee gingery olive fly, 3-pound leader with a furled leader, and also I put some mud on the line. So there's something rising here. I have a feeling it's something like a par or something very small, but we'll have a cast for it anyway. Sometimes it's hard to tell. I think this is very small. Yeah, very small. A bit better. Again, though, I think it might be par, but you don't know, sometimes it's hard to tell. Oh, there you go. Not a bad trout. I thought it was a par. This goes to show you can never tell. trout, not bad at all. Nice wee fish, half a pound maybe. There we are, lovely wee trout. Great start, pretty good. So there's 3 or 4 fish rising in this run. I'm going to try and sneak up on them, and I'm actually probably going to try and fish for the closest ones first and then fish my way up. There was quite a good fish in here and I've not seen it move yet. If I see that, I think I'm just going to jump straight to it, but need to actually see it move first. There's lots of little fish, or lots of fish rising. There's about 3 or 4 just out there. But I'm not sure if it's par or whether it's maybe grayling. I'll have a cast anyway. I mean, I've scared everything by walking in the water, but it can't be helped. That's not fun. That's better. I think I've scared them by walking in the water. So there's about 3 or 4 fish rising here quite often, and I don't know whether, I'm guessing it's a wee school of grayling or a group of grayling. I don't know for sure. They don't look very big, but sometimes it's hard to tell the size of fish from their eyes. I'll have a cast for them anyway. I mean, there's loads of movement there. So if we can catch one, we'll find out what it is. A bit short there. That's not so good, not very stealthy there. That's better. quite a bigger fish here in front, which I'm just going to cast to. I don't know whether we'll get it. It was a bit clever the last time and it wouldn't rise for the fly. It's going to be just about as far as I can cast. Short, isn't it, that? That'll be a good one. It wouldn't fit in the net, that one. Just a wee bit short again. I'm right in the wrong place. Just about. Thing is, I don't want to go too close in case I scare it off. Bit of a hard landing, that one. I think I must be grayling these bubbly rises. Just not far enough. Just drying the fly. No interest in my fly though. Must be feeding on something specific again. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're feeding on. Not my little olive fly, that's for sure. And that was a better fish coming up, and my fly's just above it. Come on. No. Yeah, there's that big fish. Tail on it. Oh, I thought that was it, my fly there, but it wasn't. Or maybe it was. Never took it anyway. Don't see why it shouldn't though. I mean, those wee olives do go on this river. And this, it's like a grey one with a CDC wing. I'm not seeing anything like this on the water today, but it's almost like a moth. Or often it's quite a good fly on this river. So we'll give it a go. As I said, nothing like what's on the water, but it's got a really good profile, so I can see it really easily. Anything takes it. So it shouldn't be as hard to spot, unlike the other one. It's quite hard to see that olive fly on the water. Just ever so slightly short for that big fish where it's in the water. Sent a huge bow wave out, so that's probably going to scare everything for miles. I think I'm actually a bit too close now. Can't even. So I'm trying this. This is meant to imitate like a blue bottle or something, or a fly that has fallen in the river. It's actually a wet fly, so it's a bit different from what I've been fishing already. I've just been fishing dries, but this is actually meant to be fished as a wet, so we'll have a go. I don't know whether that big fish will fall for this. It seems very keyed in on something. That all the fish are, but I can't work it out. Must be some kind of emerger or something. Probably very small. totally off. Trouble is I'm casting with my right arm and my good casting arm's my left one. Don't always get the angle right. That's a lot better. No, dry flies aren't cutting it here, it seems. I got that first fish on and I thought, oh, they're feeding quite well on dries today, but not since I moved here. So I think I might actually take off the dry flies and put on a couple of wets, maybe a nymph and a black spider, and try fishing from the top there down the stream. I cast for that big fish again. It's come up a couple of times in the 10 minutes I've been sitting here. I just rested the pool and they've started to rise again, the fish. It's not very often, just the odd time, but they are definitely rising. So anyway, I've decided, totally unconventionally, to try this. So the only kind of emerger thing which I've got is actually kind of yellow. So I don't know if that's like anything in the river, probably not. And then I'm going to try this, which is a kind of grub imitation that I made up. It's white floss with a bit of felt tip pen and then covered in UV resin. So I don't think they'll see it as like a grub or a maggot is meant to actually imitate. It's really that big fish I'm after, but I'm going to fish it down just to see if we can get anything else to take either the fly or the grub. Might work on grayling maybe. Very draggy though, that's the only thing here. It's going to be a hard one to not drag because fishing downstream. There's one of some good fish about though. Good to see. I fished on for about another hour and I managed to hook and lose one small grayling on a maggot fly, but apart from that, it's been not much happening. I mean, a lot of fish moving, you can see, but unfortunately not taking my fly. Just haven't quite worked out what they're on yet. So anyway, that's more or less the end of today's session. It's been nice to be by the river for a couple of hours. Pleasant evening, beautiful sunny day. Anyway, if you've enjoyed today's video, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It all helps. At least we caught a fish today. It was a kind of bit of a false start though. Got one fish and then I thought, oh, it's going to be a good day. They're taking dries, and then that was it. Anyway, can't complain, still got a fish. So it's the first fish in 3 or 4 fishing trips, so yeah, they're good. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you the next time.